Let's be real for a second. You're watching this video because your phone is driving you crazy. It's slow, the battery dies by lunchtime, and you're constantly getting storage full notifications. You've probably already started looking at the shiny new models for 2025, mentally preparing to drop $1,000 you'd rather spend on something else. I'm here to tell you to close that browser tab. Take a deep breath. What if I told you that in the next 15 minutes, you could perform a digital miracle and make the phone you already own feel fast, responsive, and capable all over again? The tech industry makes billions by convincing you that you need the latest and greatest, but the truth is, for the vast majority of people, a new phone is a complete waste of money. The real solution isn't in a store. It's in your hands right now. This guide is your intervention. We're going to move from frustration to mastery, systematically diagnosing and fixing the most common phone ailments. By the end of this, you'll have the knowledge to extend your phone's life by another 2 or 3 years, saving you a significant amount of money and freeing you from the endless upgrade cycle. This is the 2025 Fix Your Phone Guide, and we're starting with the biggest battery of them all. The number one complaint that makes people think they need a new phone is terrible battery life. You unplug it at 8 a.m. and by 2 p.m., you're in the red hunting for a charger. Before you despair, know that 90% of the time, this is a solvable problem. The first step is to get a true diagnosis. Go into your battery settings. Both Android and iPhone have detailed breakdowns showing exactly which apps are consuming your power. You might be shocked to find a single social media app or a game you rarely play is the primary culprit, running background processes constantly. The simple fix is to restrict background activity for these power-hungry apps. On iPhone, it's under Background App Refresh. On Android, it's under battery optimization, but let's go deeper. The common mistake is trusting the on-screen battery percentage too much. Your phone's battery management system can become uncalibrated over time, meaning it doesn't accurately report the true charge level. Here's a pro tip for recalibrating your battery. Let your phone drain completely until it powers itself off. Then, without turning it on, charge it uninterrupted to 100%. Leave it on the charger for another 2 hours after it hits 100%. This helps the software relearn the true capacity of the battery. If you've done all this and your battery health, especially on iPhones, is below 80%, then the most cost-effective upgrade isn't a new phone, it's a new battery. For a fraction of the cost, a battery replacement restores your phone's endurance and can even improve performance, as iPhones in particular slow down when the battery can't deliver peak power. This $80 fix can make your phone feel new for another 2 years. Now, let's tackle the second biggest frustration: sluggish performance. Your phone feels slow, apps take forever to open, and the keyboard lags behind your typing. Before you blame the hardware, you need to understand that this is almost always a software issue. Think of your phone's storage like a messy desk. Over years of use, it gets filled with cache files, temporary data, and app remnants that clutter the system. The first and easiest fix is a simple restart. This clears the active memory and stops any rogue processes. If that doesn't work, the next step is to check your storage. If you have less than 10% of your total storage free, your phone is struggling to find space to operate efficiently. You need to do a digital declutter, go through your photos and videos and back them up to the cloud, then delete them from your device. Uninstall apps you haven't used in the last 3 months. Clear the cache for individual apps, especially your browser and social media apps, which can accumulate gigabytes of useless data. But the nuclear option, the one that delivers the most dramatic results, is a full factory reset. Now, I know this sounds scary, but if you do it correctly, it's the single most effective way to get that out-of-the-box speed back. The key is in the preparation. Before you reset, ensure all your photos, contacts, and important files are securely backed up. On Android, use Google's backup service. On iPhone, use iCloud. After the reset, instead of restoring from a full backup, which can sometimes bring back the very software corruption, you're retrying to reinstall your most essential apps fresh. This process wipes away years of digital cruft and can make a 3-year-old phone feel brand new. Sometimes the problem isn't software at all, it's physical. But before you assume it's a death sentence, know that many common hardware issues are surprisingly fixable. A cracked screen is the most obvious one. While official repair can be expensive, third-party repair shops often offer high-quality screen replacements for a fraction of the price, especially for older models. If your charging port is loose or isn't working, the issue is often just a compacted pocket lint. Over years, lint gets forced into the port, preventing the cable from making a solid connection. The pro tip here is to take a wooden or plastic toothpick, never metal, and gently, carefully scrape around the center pin in the port. You will likely be shocked at how much debris you can pull out. This simple, free fix has saved countless phones from an untimely demise. Similarly, a speaker that sounds muffled is often just clogged with dust. A soft bristled brush, like a clean toothbrush, can often clear it out and restore sound quality. The point is, don't give up on a hardware issue until you've explored these simple, low-cost solutions. The right to repair movement is gaining steam, and with sites like iFixit providing detailed guides and selling parts, many repairs are well within the reach of a patient beginner. Investing $50 in a repair is always smarter than investing $1,000 in a replacement for a problem that might be trivial. So, how do you know when it's actually truly time to upgrade? After you've tried all these fixes, there is a final, objective checklist. First, software support. If your phone is no longer receiving security updates from the manufacturer, it's becoming a vulnerability. Using an unsupported phone is like leaving the front door to your digital life unlocked. Check online if your specific model will get the latest OS update in 2025. If not, that's a strong signal. Second, a hardware failure of a critical, non-replaceable component. If the main logic board fails or the internal storage is corrupted, the cost of repair often outweighs the value of the phone. Third, if your core needs have fundamentally changed. If you've become a serious mobile photographer and your phone's camera hardware, even after software optimizations, can't keep up, that's a valid reason. But notice, that's about a new need, not a failure of your old device. The goal of this entire guide is to empower you to make that decision from a position of knowledge, not from frustration or marketing pressure. You now have the tools to perform a complete health check on your device. You can fix the battery issues, you can solve the performance problems, and you can address minor hardware faults. Take a weekend, follow these steps, and see the transformation for yourself. The most sustainable, cost-effective, and smartest phone you can own is very often the one already in your pocket.